What's up everybody, and welcome to the 30th PHP tutorial. And in the last tutorial, as you can see, we had a function to test whether the user's name only contained letters or numbers. So if we had name Bucky with a dollar sign or something, when it registered we gave him the error message, username must only contain letters or numbers, so we checked for that. But in this tutorial I'm going to show you guys how to check if the username has already been taken. So once you're trying to register for something on any website and you click register and it says, we're sorry, but the username is already in use, that's what we're going to be testing for today. So by the end of the tutorial we're going to be checking if the username only contains the letters and number, and also if the name was already used again. And don't forget to watch these videos in high quality. And again, for the last time, if you have any questions on your code or anything, you have to post it in the forum on my website, thenewboston.com. I never check my YouTube messages, so post it on thenewboston.com and I can help you there. Now, here is our old tutorial that you guys already learned from last time. This is the function that tests whether the username is alphanumeric, which means contains only letters and number. If this is true and it passes this test, we want to make a different test to test for duplicate names like I just showed you. So let's just add a comment so we know what we're doing. Test for duplicate names. I know I spelled it wrong, don't comment me. The first thing we need to do is look in the database to see if the name has already been used or not. So the first thing we need to do for this is make a query or an action to check the database. So in our query we're going to put select, put asterisk, and what the asterisk means is select all, since we want to select all of the names in the database to check. Select all from users, and remember I told you guys to make a table called users where username, and remember I told you guys to make a field in that table called username. Select all from the table users where username equals where the username is equal to, and we're gonna look for this right here. Since this is the variable that the user posted, this is the input whenever they entered in that form. Right here is going to be their name. So I entered white blue 1942 is going to say, alright, select all of the data from the table where the username is equal to whatever name they posted. So it's going to look for white blue 1942 in my case. And the next thing we have to make is just pretty much an action that says MySQL _query, and this pretty much means perform the action. What action do we want to perform? We want to perform query. Since whatever you name this variable right here, that's what goes in this variable. So if you name this variable applesauce, you put applesauce right here. So this is pretty much saying, alright, what action do you want to perform? Go ahead and perform that action. And what this is going to do is, this result is well, I just told you guys, I don't need to tell you guys again. The next thing that we were going to want to do is make a variable called num, and this is going to be actually a number, and this is a built-in function called MySQL _num _rows. And in your parameter, type in the action where you want to test. And what this is going to do is get all of the rows that your action found. So if there is one username called whiteblue1942, the variable number is going to be set to 1. If there's none, then it's going to be set to 0. If there is 2, then it's going to be set to 2. So we need this information so we can test whether or not we should allow the user to keep going and register or not. So let's go ahead and say if the variable num is equal to 0, Then we want you to build the rest of the code. But if else, and why do we need an else statement? Because this is the code that's going to execute if there is already a name in use. So whenever there is a name in use, what code do we want to execute? We can echo on the screen, but I'm gonna have you take it to another website. I'm gonna have to say name in use.html, and let's go ahead and put that in double quotation marks. So here is what we have built so far. The first thing it's going to do is test if your the name that they entered only contains letters or numbers. If it doesn't, and it contains letters or numbers, it's going to take you to a thing that says invalid name. The next thing we want to do, if it passes the test, then we go on to the next step, test for duplicate names. And it's going to select all, it's going to run through the database and look for all of the instances of the name you posted, and if there are no instances, then we're going to execute this code right here, which we didn't type in yet. This is going to be for the next tutorial. It's going to be a next step. But if there is a name already in the database, then we're going to want to select name in use. So again, right now we have two tests. The first thing we're going to want to do is test if the thing is alphanumeric, and the next thing we're going to want to do is test for duplicate names. And again, to remind you guys one more time, all of this information right here is on my website, thenewboston.com. So if you don't feel like typing all this, just go to my website, thenewboston.com, copy, paste it in your website, bam, there you go. So again, thank you for watching. Make sure to watch these videos in high quality, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. So last, for the 18th time, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.